Starfield has been out for a few days now, and now it's actually out on the Xbox Gamepass for everyone, day one, so there'll be tons of new players looking to improve how the game looks and, most importantly, feels. In this video, I'll be showing you how to install the brand new, completely free Starfield Frame Generation mod that replaces FSR2 with DLSS-G. Do note that in order to actually use Frame Generation, you'll need a 40 series NVIDIA graphics card. It won't work with anything else. If you have anything else, it's still going to give you the DLSS replacement, but you're not going to get the extra smoothness through generated frames. Also keep in mind that generating frames doesn't actually improve how the game feels responsively. While it makes everything a lot smoother, it's not actually really going to speed up your input latency and things like that. So if you're playing with terrible FPS, even on a 40 series card, your gameplay experience is going to be improved, but there is a limit to how far. The game still needs tons of optimization on Bethesda's part. Anyways, let's begin. In the description down below, you'll find a link to this here, the Starfield Frame Generation mod replacing FSR2 with DLSS-G. The installation steps are super simple, though do keep in mind, to use Frame Generation, you'll need a 40 series graphics card. This is compatible with both the Steam and Xbox or Microsoft Store version, and the installation steps are a little bit confusing, but I'll get to them now. First of all though, we need to navigate across to where the game is located. For this, in Steam, all you need to do is find the game, right-click, hover over Manage, and choose Browse Local Files. Then, just like that, we're inside of the Starfield install folder here. For the Xbox Game Pass version, however, you'll need to remember what drive you chose to install it to. I'll open up a new file browser, head to C followed by Xbox Games, which is the default location. It could be Xbox Games or anything like that. Another drive, then Starfield, followed by Content, and now we have the same folder for both pretty much Steam and the Xbox Game Pass version here. Once you've navigated across to the correct installation folder for whichever version you have, what we need to do is start by downloading the actual Frame Generation mod. So head across to the Files tab right over here and choose either the Steam version or the Xbox Game Pass version here. Click Manual Download next to whichever one you're downloading. I'll download this one here. It tells us that there are additional files required, and we have two links here, both to Tech PowerUp for the DLSS DLL and the DLSS-G DLL, which is the Frame Generation one. I'll middle click both of these to open them in new tabs, then I'll click Download to download the actual zip file from Nexus Mods. Do note you will need an account, so if you're not already signed in, you'll need to create an account and log in, then you can click Slow Download here. Simply save the zip file and open it when it's done downloading. Inside of the zip, you should find Streamline, followed by an ASI file and WinMM-DLL. We'll drag all of these files out and into our game's install directory, just like that. Now the mod should technically be installed, but there's still more steps to come. On the DLSS DLL page, we'll download the latest version here. So download under currently 3.5.0. Pick any server and wait for the download to start. Then on the DLSS3G page, we'll click download next to a matching version here, pretty sure, and pick any server. Then we'll open up both of these files and extract them into the Streamline folder. So here's the DLSS DLL. We'll drag it out into the Streamline folder, and we'll do the same now with the DLSS-G file, just like that. Now they're both next to each other here, and they're in the Streamline folder. There's a few more steps. If you already have the DLSS mod installed from a different creator, you'll need to uninstall that as well as any other DLSS mods you have installed for Starfield. The easiest way to do so is check the files that you downloaded and remove the ones that were related to the mod. In my previous video, I showed you how to install the Starfield upscaler, and I installed it with Reshade. These are the files that came with the plugins that I dragged in, so I simply moved all of the files out of the Starfield installation folder and into a separate folder for safekeeping, especially the mods folder. If you have other mods, these are the files inside of it for the upscaler base plugin, these three here. So I moved these out as well. Just like that, we've disabled the other DLSS options, and we've only got this one installed. If inside of this folder you have FSR Bridge, simply make sure that you delete the fsrbridge.asi file, as well as the nvgx and libxess DLL files from this folder here if you install the FSR Bridge mod. There we go, so the game's starting up, and on the main menu, we'll hit Continue, followed by our save file, and things should pretty much just work. Even though I'm on a 3080 Ti, the frame generation section of this isn't working, the DLSS part should be. So if I hit Escape, head to Settings, then Display, we'll make make sure that the resolution scale is on something less than 100%, but you can still technically use DLSS on 100. Then make sure that upscaling is set to FSR2. Even though it says FSR2, it's not actually using AMD FSR2. Instead, it's using the NVIDIA DLSS plugin and NVIDIA DLSS. You can also adjust sharpening, and that's pretty much it. Everything's working as you'd hope. We're now using DLSS instead of AMD FSR, and assuming you're on a 40 series graphics card, you should also have the frame generation section working for free. That's it. Super simple. There are a few last things to cover. If for some reason you're having issues with Reshade, here's what you need to do. Following the instructions on the mods page here, we'll need to make sure that we have all DLSS mods uninstalled and completely removed, as well as Reshade. Then we'll need to install the latest version of this mod, which we've done, and install Reshade 5.9.2 from the official website here. I'll open reshade.me, click download, then download the latest version here, then open it, and we'll select our games here, either Starfield.exe if you're on Steam, otherwise Game Launch Helper if you're on the Xbox Gamepass version. I should have both here. There's Starfield for Steam, but we're looking for, in my case, the game launcher. I don't have it here. I'll instead click browse and head across to where the game is installed. So see Xbox Games, Starfield, content, and Game Launch Helper.exe here. There we go. Next, and we can choose a rendering engine, choose DirectX 101112. Next, we can select a preset, but I'll skip this for now, and we can choose plugins to install. For now, I'll just leave everything as is. Next, wait for it to download and set up. Next, and finish. There we go. Now that we have Reshade reinstalled, we can install our presets and shaders, but just a quick note, if you're still crashing on the Steam version, simply open winmm.ini and replace the 0 with a 1. So, in the Starfield folder here, you should see that we extracted a file called winmm.ini. All we need to do is change this 0 to a 1. Or we can remove the winmm and winmmdll and install the sfse ASI loader instead. This is just a different way of loading mods for Starfield if for some reason you're having issues with the default method. And now we're pretty much ready to play. Just a quick note, if for some reason your reshade effects aren't working, we can turn off NIS sharpening in the config of this mod and enable contrast adaptive sharpening in the reshade effects menu instead. So for this, after you've run the game once, you should see a new config.json file here, which you can open with any text editor, and you'll see settings for the mod here. Simply change NIS sharpening to false, save, and fire up the game to change the contrast adaptive sharpening, which I'll show you in just a moment. For now, we can customize the other options here. So looking down further on this page, you can see we can change the DLSS mode since the game uses dynamic resolution, and we can type in the mode here. We can change the DLSS preset to use from A through F, enable frame generation, which will have no effect if you're not on a 40 series graphics card, NIS, which we've been through, enable an FPS cap here, change the reflex low latency mode between low latency with boost, reflex sleep enabled, and a version. So in order to actually enable contrast adaptive sharpening as they suggest, I'll fire up the actual game, press home, and inside the reshade options here, we should see AMD Fidelity FX CAS here, which we can enable and change the settings for down here. Cool. With that, we should now have everything working, both DLSS and frame generation, assuming you're on a 40 series NVIDIA graphics card, and on top of that, we now also have Reshade installed, so we can customize how the game looks. For example, I don't know, HDR, at least for the most part, or maybe curves. But anyways, things are working as you would hope at this point. That's really about it. So, hopefully you found this video useful. Thank you for watching. My name's been Troubleshoot, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao.